All right, okay, here you go. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Happy
morning.
Monday. Happy
Happy Monday.
June 1st. Today is Kids Day. I think it's International Children Day or something like this.
It's a kid day?
Yeah, yeah. At least in my part of the world, where I'm from. I don't know. Maybe it is. I just realized that it's June 1st, and I'm like, oh wait, it's Kids Day.
I mean,
So
it's another month down in the year 2026.
yeah, and the issue is number 12. Is it
Yep.
12? It is 12. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
12.
Yeah, no, I remember. I just clicked on the link and it said 12, so yeah. Good morning, everyone. For those who join us right now, it's going to be exciting because we're going to be going through a newsletter, which you might have received. Hopefully, you received 2 hours ago or so. AI in QA. AI in QA also has its own website, AIinQA.com. You can go there and look at previous issues and also subscribe. Do we have an option to donate money?
We don't have an option to donate
We
money,
should add
but
the
you
option.
can sponsor us. You can get a sponsorship slot, which that's where we'll kick off today. We
Yep.
have a sponsor, Browser Stack. They've got a webinar coming up. Sergey, you've got the best radio voice. Are you prepared for this?
Oh, sure. Yes.
All right. Yeah,
You want
I'll
me to
share
do
the
the?
screen.
You want
I'll
me to do
let
the
you.
dramatic one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be dramatic.
If you are tired of spending more time fixing tests than writing them, this webinar is worth a look. Browser Stack is hosting a live session on how QA teams are using AI to create tests faster and reduce location maintenance with self-healing automation workflows. June 9th, 11 a.m. Central. Register now. Link below. Somewhere there. Hey! All right, now jokes aside, what is it? Tell me. It's a webinar. Well, apparently I'll be telling you, or you will tell us.
No, it's a webinar. Browser Stack's hosting. I think you covered it.
Said
You covered it.
everything, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Go.
you go.
You go.
Okay. If you click on register now, this is where you will be taken. And you can say, is there money involved?
It's free. Free to
This is the
join.
best part. This is because I am gonna join. Because when I hear self healing, it's a thing for me. I immediately want to see what it is. How do I do this? So you see, like if you're new to this or you've never even used AI, maybe you have never used AI, you still can go because it's free. You will get exposed to somebody else's opinion, and it's always good. And we trust them. I mean, I'm gonna go and watch, and I bet I'm gonna learn something,
You better
and
learn something.
yeah, yeah. So again, June 9th, 11 a.m. Central. Just block the calendar, write something like professional improvement. Those like things. You
Yeah.
can
Share
tell you
share it with your coworkers. This is
exactly.
something your whole team can be a part of. So
Better yet, create an office hours and watch, and everybody watches together. Yeah, that's an
yeah.
option. Exactly. So yeah, about today's issue, the I think you wanna scroll and
Sure.
tell us about expectation-driven development. I read the article, by the way. I even had time to do that.
Oh, you read the whole article. It was a long one.
It was a longer one. Yeah, my last hour was pretty intense and very much like,
You're
but
growing your brain.
yeah.
Yeah, so I stumbled across this idea this week from Andre Laforgia. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. Around expectation driven development, EDD. So we've all heard of BDD, behavior driven development. We've heard of TDD, test driven development. And the concept here is before you start writing code, you actually build out expectations and you explicitly say what the expectations, both functional and non functional, would be. So you create a markdown file with just plain English, and you use that as you're writing your test. Now, this plain English EDD doesn't have to follow the gherkin syntax that some people love, that I try to not use as much as I can. But the idea behind this is, yes, it's a little less structured. So it's not kind of shoved into that format. But using plain English, you can set up your expectations, and you basically have, you use that to help you build the code. And then once the code is built, you use AI or tools, you build some deterministic way to test your expectation was actually met. So if your expectation is around, I should be able to have 50 concurrent sessions running at once, so 50 users, a part of your expectation, validation would be, write a script or use a tool, and hopefully this is your AI doing it, to go validate that 50 users at a time is not a problem, or 50 concurrent sessions, or whatever your expectation was.
The hardest part probably will be writing those expectations for you as a QA, and
Yes.
that will show you very much. So if you will be doing that, and you will see I doing like super weird stuff, and you will be getting mad at it, there is a huge chance that you are not very good at instructions. I'm just gonna read the expectations for cart total calculation, and I loved it. So when a user adds multiple items to their cart, the total should reflect the sum of all items prices multiplied by their quantities. And later he makes a point, multiple, not two. Like we most, when we write automation or something, we're like, okay, if we try 0, we would try 1, we try 2, that's it. If a discount code is applied, the discount should be calculated on pre-tax subtotal, not at individual items. Tax is applied after the discount. And my favorite line of all of that, well, two favorite lines from this article was, if the card is empty, the total should be 0, not an error.
Yes.
That's something what we know. We just know. I mean,
Yeah.
probably a 7-year-old kid knows that, when they shop on Amazon on mom's account, if they like remove everything and are you looking for that?
I am, yes.
Yeah, type not an error. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so this, it's right in the beginning of the whole article. And when I started reading, I was like, oh, this article is going to be good. Yeah, and my favorite one was something about a wiki page, which was outdated the date it was created. I was like, yeah. I literally laughed out loud. I was like, yeah, we've been there.
I mean, we've definitely been there.
Everybody
you think about
has been
all
there.
let me document how this is supposed to work and
Yeah.
put it somewhere else. So where this is a little different, and where I think this may not like apply to testers specifically, right? Testers are probably not writing these expectations and then using that to generate code. But I do think the concepts from this article on codifying your expectations and then using those expectations to drive deterministic validation, I think is a very, very valid approach. Now, we typically start the other side. We typically start with, all right, let's write some regression test. And then through that, we get to the expectation, and hopefully there's enough assertions that meet our expectations. But a lot of times we are not fully like explicitly saying, here's the expectation we're expecting overall. And I think that level of context, even within like a test file that may have 8 different checks on it, could be really, really useful and very powerful to just give our AI tools that context when they're running the test or investigating the test or anything really. But having that context, something like this expectation, just live as a comment or live in like a special section in all of our test files, I don't know. I see that's something I'm gonna be experimenting with to see
Yeah.
if I can get better results, more context loaded when a test passes, when it fails, if it fails. Hopefully, when my AI is debugging that test, when it's working on healing that test, it's going to go read this expectation and make sure it doesn't do a false heal.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But yeah, I mean, those explicit things, they've been always around, and maybe we just, somebody didn't use it. Another example would be, for example, I'm writing automation and I land on a page, and after I click on A, something B appears, and something appears, right? I don't know, B. And a lot of automation writers, writers, not coders, writers, would do, okay, land on a page, click on A, expect B. But how about you land on a page, expect B not to be present, then click on A, and then expect to be present? Like those little things. I mean, I've been doing it for years, those explicit ones. That's why when this comment stood out to me so much, because I rarely see those like, okay, so be literally as explicit as possible. And a person who, always argues with AI, always, I'm not gonna lie that, okay, 25% of time it's actually me when I read the, what AI, you know, the AI's output. It doesn't matter what it is. If we're planning, if we're writing, if we're reviewing, whatever we're doing, and I'll be like, no, that's not what I asked. And then I start reading what I ask, and I'm like, yeah, okay, okay, so here's the thing. And then I add another block of context. So, yeah, so absolutely, yeah, this article, I loved it. I'm not sure if, when, how I'm gonna be implementing this, but knowing that exists, and knowing, again, like with the webinar, in our which we're sponsored by, same thing. Hearing somebody else saying something at this point is beneficial. It doesn't matter if it's good, if it's bad. It's better be good, like this article or the webinar. But there are bad things on the internet as well. But it's nice because it's those moments when I would go somewhere, hear somebody say something good, and I'll be like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm already doing it. Or saying something bad, and you like, okay, I'm actually, doing the right thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, isolation is not a good thing, when you like on your own, trying to, especially right now, navigating this craziness of AI. But yeah, thank you, Andrea. Yeah, LaForgia. Yeah, I think you said it right.
Nice. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what else stood out to you, Sergey?
Well, obviously, you know that I read Postman and Playwright integration, integration. Testing UI and API together. Yeah, I read that. I love Postman. I'm still using it in spite of we're not sponsored by Postman, so I can say those things. In spite of being way slower than when we started. I remember Postman being so lightweight, so like you click and it just works. And now, ooh. How many times I had to force quit that thing? I don't even remember.
I mean, what's the startup time now? It's at least 7 seconds.
I think so. I think even for me, maybe even more, because I have like too much, and I have my personal, and yeah, I have
You have
a
all the
lot.
different accounts. Yeah.
Yeah, I have accounts and stuff, and it just, yeah, but sometimes it gets slow. But yeah, there is an article again. You already opened it. What I loved, if you scroll down a little bit, this, I know you're a huge fan, and I know since you were creator of AI and QA, you do love to use examples with examples,
Oh
articles
yeah.
with examples. So yeah, so basically it walks you through how to combine Playwright and Postman. And it's not that complicated. It's honestly just a few steps. So if you're using Postman still, like me, is gonna be beneficial. The code, absolutely loved it. The page locator, but then backclasses, then that first, then text content, then trim, and I was like, oh my god. But the good thing is, apparently this code worked for API for Postman agent, and it executed all of the tests. So basically, if you want to, the example which is used in this article is permission based. So basically, you have a few users with different permissions. You have set of tests written by AI agent in Playwright, and then Postman goes and executes them based on that user permission, and tells you and gives you, if you scroll down, and even a little more, you will see. Keep scrolling,
Keep scrolling.
Yeah, keep scrolling, and you will see this. You will see this beautiful output. Again, we don't trust everything we see online, but so that's why I highly recommend, if you're using Postman, if you're using Playwright, if you're testing a lot of APIs, again, maybe you'll maybe you'll be like, oh no, I don't even want to. But again, I think the theme of today is gonna be hearing other people's opinion can be good, and maybe you will see something what you would want to implement in your testing days. Maybe ask AI to generate this beautiful table. Who knows?
Maybe that's the takeaway. It's like,
Exactly.
I like the way this looks. Let me take a screenshot, drop it over into Claude or Cursor, Copilot, and say, I want my output for whatever you're working with to look like this.
But that's what I had in mind. I was like, oh wow, that's so readable. That's so visual. And I was like, okay. So again, maybe your takeaway will be that, or maybe your takeaway will be to start using Postman today. So thank you, Butch, for putting this all together for us.
Thank you, Postman, for releasing cool features that are interesting.
They are. What stood out to you? Is there?
I'll call this first one Vibium. So this is Jason Huggins. He announced that he got some funding. So this is like a little LinkedIn post. So Vibium now has raised some money. So what does that mean? I think that can mean a lot of different things, but I think if anything, it basically means that someone is funding another open source solution that's going to help with both end-to-end web browser testing. But I think Vibium goes a step further in that you can use the platform to test even mobile type devices through different hardware integrations. So very cool stuff. I've been following Vibium for a while. I'm really excited to see what happens. This is in one of those, if I had buckets of items, this is in my bucket to keep an eye on and to explore and use, but I'm not adopting this and using this on clients' work at the moment. But I am definitely exploring and using it, and one day it will be likely a great tool to grab for certain situations.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait. There are going to be way more cool, a lot of cool tools. I mean, they're released almost daily at this point. Speaking of tools and releasing daily things AI related and tools and frameworks, there is an article from Rahail, AI automated QA engineer, autonomous web testing and bug fixing agent. I think it's number 2. So I read that one. I mean, okay. I'm just gonna say it how it is, right?
This is a hot take one ish.
Did I learn anything? No. And it's okay. So, but it doesn't mean. So the thing is, it doesn't mean the article is bad. It's actually good. What I like about this article is he is literally pointing at daily struggles. So this is very much like you were at the water cooler and somebody is telling you their daily struggle and how they, fight with bugs and AI and what they're doing. I love that more and more and more articles start to point like AI, QA is not going anywhere. AI is not going to replace QA. Like I love how people, the panic wave is starting, it's kind of like, receding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically what happened here, Rahel created a AI agent and then asked to test the website with bugs. And some of the bugs the AI agent couldn't find, but it did find one of the bugs, which I don't remember where exactly though. The wording was, oh, here you go. So what AI agent did, it entered the same username twice, the same email twice. And what Rahel said is like a human tester running a scripted checklist would almost certainly use a fresh email for each sign up test. And I was like, not me. Because
That'd be at the top.
it's yeah, it's right. Yep, this one. Yeah, because I actually do use the same email. That's one of my first tests. Is just like, okay, let's do that again, and
Yep.
it all comes with experience, right? So AI is a model, all of those models were trained based on data. That's why maybe AI decided that I'm going to use the same email. So I'm also a type of a person who learns by pattern recognition and also by patterns. And also I'm very good at owning my failures. And I don't remember that it was me, but somehow in my I don't recall the day. No, I think honestly, I never failed. The bug where like the same username would be created, but it
Yeah.
definitely is on my list. And every time when I have API automation running to create something, I always have a test created with the same username, email, with the same
That's one
information.
of the default tests that we reach for.
Yeah, and that's why like would almost certainly I'm like, okay, no, but yeah, but again, you see, I saw somebody else's opinion, but what I liked is the bugs which were missed by it's right there, yeah, by AI agent, and the second one, or performance regression, the third one, where a dashboard endpoint took 3 to 4 seconds. Yeah, that again, that's like when we are great at being annoyed by something. AI has no feelings. It's like I'm gonna wait,
Yeah.
while me is like, Postman, come on. Oh, come on
Yeah.
now. I'm gonna call Butch right now and ask what he's using. I'm gonna start using that. Come on, load. So so I like the article. Again, did I learn anything new specific, like something like what I can call out? No, but it was still interesting to read and hear somebody else's experience, right? And with the bugs which were found by AI, which the author was not aware, but also I love when people call out the mistakes of AI. That's like
Yeah.
my that's my favorite part. That's my dessert of any article. So I really appreciate it. Still, really, really recommend it. Me not learning anything from it doesn't mean that you will not learn anything,
Yeah.
right?
And there's a repo to go along to go experiment. I mean, all these things, right? When you see repos attached to these articles, definitely read through the repo. If you're not sure like what you're looking at, maybe download the repo before you run it. Ask Claude, hey, is there anything dangerous here? Is there any data that's going to be leaving my machine? Ask that question just to stay secure. I'm not vetting every single one of these, but I am doing some spot checks on some of the code bases that I find interesting. So just because it's in my newsletter, don't fully trust it. The same way you wouldn't trust that developer as they, send a ticket and say, I've tested this. Everything looked good. Can you go pass it, please?
Yeah. Even Matt Anderegg doesn't deserve this. No, there's no human who would. Yeah, but you know what? I recently, I think 3 weeks ago, I was on the short call with a developer, and I did because he's like, yeah, so this one is gonna be like easy, and I told him like, I don't trust you. You should know that I don't trust you. I really much like you as a person. You know, you have such an amazing personality. I've seen your work ethics. It's great, but I do not trust you. Don't ever tell me like, oh yeah, this is great. And but my favorite reaction was from him when he was like, oh yes, you should. You know, so that is good. Check-in isn't testing. Soon it won't be employment either or
Oh,
either.
you like this one? Here, let's go. We'll pull this one up.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Like a lot, a lot. Even though I got scared because it was right under hot take.
Yeah,
So you have two of them.
I do. And this take is, I wouldn't say it's super hot. It's hot for some people. I'll say that. I don't think it's hot for us,
It's
but it's
not.
definitely hot for some people.
It's not. That's why I was like, wait, but am I the one who's gonna be like pouring gasoline or the one who's burning? You know,
Sure,
because
sure, do it.
hot take is kind of like one person is pouring the gasoline and another one is burning. And here I'm gonna be pouring hot gasoline for sure. Well, the whole article is basically we you read it. Obviously, read it.
Yeah.
If you have time, read it or just go like like that, skim through it. But the whole idea, right in the name, that check-in isn't testing, and soon it won't be employment either. I don't know which one you prefer. Uh, this preferences,
Is
tomato,
that a
tomato.
preference?
I
It probably is.
Oh, there you go. Ta-da. I think, is there a rule for that? If
I'm not
somebody,
sure.
okay. Well, I always say either, but when I hear people saying either, I'm like, oh, British. You know, like I don't know what it is with me. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm derailing the whole thing. Um, I agree. That's it.
Yeah.
I read through that, and definitely people who look at testing, and there are new people in testing world joining us, in this QA journey daily. You know, like somebody woke up today and was like, you know what, I'm gonna be a QA. Or, or maybe a developer who actually fell in love with looking at playwright beautiful tests. I don't know, but yeah, I've seen them. I know them. I know few people who really think that testing is really just checking, who go by AC, who just, who may tell you, so looking at the ticket, what exactly am I testing here? Like, who won the beautiful spoon, and just told exactly where and how to click. I'm gonna tell you the interesting story. I don't think that person will see this video, so I'm not afraid. Otherwise, I wouldn't. But I know a QA person who, when I was thinking about going into QA, he was already QA with 7 or like 10 years of experience. And I remember how he told me that this job is not difficult at all. And this is not how you, by the way, this is not how you lure me into something. If you tell me like, oh, let's do this, it's not difficult, I'm already bored. And for me, it needs to be difficult. I need like, no pain, no gain, all of that. And I remember how he told me like, it's so easy. It's just you get the like a ticket. It tells you exactly what to do. You go, you click everything what it says. So basically, like you go log in, click a few buttons, and then it's done. If you don't know how to do that, if you like struggling or like you don't see them, you just call the developer, and they tell you exactly what to do. I was.
Oh man.
That's not why I went into QA. I went into QA because of Harvard's free course CS50. This is why I went. But the long story short, that person is unemployed now for years. And for me, he's a monument of considering testing to be checking, considering that not even that, it's an easy job or something, but
Yeah.
that was the person who would, again, like he said, you just click whatever it says to, where to click. Oh, also, the thing which killed me later was how he told you sometimes developers will tell you what to click. And when I started working, and you remember how fascinated I got with APIs, how I fell
Oh
in
yeah.
love with them immediately. And he was still working back then. It was
Let,
2019.
let me rewind. It wasn't immediately. There was I had to push you a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no. First of all,
But
I was
once you
extreme.
once you tasted of the water, you're like, this is good. And
I
you
was scared. I will never forget my first API ticket, and I literally just took my chair to Kim, and I was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Oh, okay, let me tell you." I love her. We're gonna see her next month. Oh, this month, by the way, yeah,
could be
in
great.
Birmingham.
Sauce Tech is coming.
Here goes Slawstack, by the way. Yeah, take that webinar and then come to Slawstack to hang out with us. But so I remember I started testing APIs, and I told him about APIs, and he told me, "Oh, I don't even test that." So yeah, the person is unemployed. Of course, and it's real life example. I'm not making up things at
Yeah.
all. It's one of those fairy tales. It's not fairy tales. It's actually the tale when an old man sits with the kids by the fire and tells horrible stories about monsters. That's the one. The thing is, I bet, and I give you $10 for it. I bet that there are people like this still,
Sure.
even though we're here on our what is it, podcast review, we talk about AI and the things which are happening right now in the world. There are multiple companies, hundreds of companies across the world where QA is just literally a person who checks the box, just
Yeah.
checks the box and not testing.
And I'm going to go a step further because I mean, this article and what it points to is, this line here. Let's face it, AI can already do checking. So we have built, there's tools out there that can do a lot of the checking things for you, especially if you have good acceptance criteria. It can go check all those things, but there's always gaps in the acceptance criteria. There's always things, always edge cases, always scenarios that aren't going to be covered or documented, or maybe even added to an expectation for doing driven development. There's those edge cases that we've got to be willing to explore. I think on this side as well, we talked a little bit about just codifying our tests, right? So making our test automation deterministic through automation scripts, through Playwright or any other tool that's out there. If your whole job is taking a test case, reading it, and translating that into code, your job is going away. If you're not thinking more about the system that you're interacting with, what are those additional edge cases that need to be tested? That's really where the new role is, right? Generating code is done by AI now. I would say 80 to 95% accurate. So yeah, you still need to know some to tweak it and make sure it's architected well. But once you have like a good architecture and some good patterns established, like filling out the other 80% of your test framework is it's almost a solved issue. I say almost in that you still need to know how to leverage AI tools to get great output. So it's not just like you ask an AI, go build this for me, and it builds it. No, you've actually got to build the right context and the right prompt and give it not too little, but not too much information to be able to generate this great code that can help give us that confidence. But in the end, if your job is just like test case to automation case, learn how to test is what I would say. I wouldn't say don't give up, just go learn how to test. Go learn some exploratory testing patterns. Go learn how to explore the system, be an expert in the system. So when you're writing automation, you know what other things you need to add. And I know for me and you, Sergey, like that's how we operate. Like we didn't have test cases in our roles. Like we analyzed every single ticket, every new feature, and we thought through what automation coverage do we want, what additional exploratory testing do we need to do. We do that, and then we decide, does any of that need to be codified or not? And that gave us super high confidence as we went to releases.
That's true. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, if it might seem right now that, oh, I'm good, my company, doesn't use AI, or like it's very hard to leave the comfort zone. We know this. We know this. But the problem is that the zone is shrinking day by day. Your company, which is not utilizing AI, is literally starting to fail. I'm not saying that it's falling behind. No, of course it's not. We don't know exactly what you're doing. Maybe you're doing something so like niche, nobody else is there. Maybe, I don't know. But the thing is that it just you don't think about your company. Think about you. One day you can be laid off. You can, the company can be bought by some other companies. But just being on, being aware, at least aware, go into these free webinars. Again, like, but for real, or like taking 1 hour a week, just 1 hour a week. That's what I do. I wake up at 7 a.m. I start reading the newsletter until 8, and I just go through. I do mark some things which I want to try or I want to come back to later. But yeah, this a little investment. It's in you. It's not in company, and you will be using AI. You will be using AI tools to write automation, to test. I don't know what exactly the tool eventually you will face, but you would better be ready now. So yeah, but absolutely, the check-in versus testing debate is dead. I agree, and I love the next line. Buried next to best practices and whatever has become of shift left. So this is
shift left is still a thing. Still a thing. It's a very big thing, actually.
But this one rare hot take when I'm actually not burning and screaming and fighting it back. But I am pouring the gasoline, and I absolutely agree with an author, and who it was, Keith Klein. Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah. What else? What else do we have? We have 5 more minutes. What article? Oh wait, there was something I wanted to. Let's see. I have bazillion tabs open. Ooh, there is a Reddit. There is a Reddit. You posted about QA didn't and won't die in the near future, but will adapt. By the way, it's such a beautiful. I should have thought about it and make a transition smoother instead of wait. I have many tabs open. It's very short. It's not an article. It's a short post on Reddit. And I absolutely love how who's that? Meh. Well, we don't know.
Old Mathematician 107.
Well, I was looking for a name, obviously, but definitely loved the whole take. What I loved was the comments, and
that's why I posted it. I posted it for the comments because the comments are gold.
I didn't even go that far, but again, back to what we were just saying about learning. And yeah, some people were like, the post is great, but Reddit. It's Reddit. But what I loved, there was a comment, how does your agent interact with UI? Could you explain more? And then, old mathematician 107 says, so he says Codex, Gemini, and Claude, and he says he gives examples, and then a person asks more, is it MCP or something? But old mathematician gives a YouTube video how to make your AI agent go and actually, work with UI. That's why those articles are great. So if you see like a bunch of comments, go there, because maybe there is somebody who will be asking your question. And and of course, most of us, many of us, I don't know, me, okay, me, I wouldn't post a question. I would read an article, and if I had a question, I would go to Claude and be like, "Hey, how do I do this?" Like I wouldn't be, but I love this. I was like, okay, I just want to see, and I saw that comment. So back to what we
Did you
were
watch the
just,
video?
huh?
Did you click on the video?
I have 1 hour before this, my friend. Come on now.
You got to go like ×3 speed.
I did not watch the video.
Better
but
yet, just paste the link to your Claude and say, "Hey, summarize for me. Give me the 8 steps to turn this on."
yeah. But anyway, so that's another point of AI in QA newsletter is that you don't need to find these comments or these conversations or anything like that. And again, go and read the original post from Old Mathematician 107. Just because it's always nice to hear somebody else's opinion, even if they're wrong. You'll be fine. Trust me. You'll grow out of it.
Computer use is slow, but it does work.
Yeah, true. Okay, do you have anything else? Because I skipped a lot today. I mean, I skipped.
No,
we didn't.
there's a lot here. I think I'm not going to call out anymore. Well, I'll call out just the last article here. This is one that made it last night as I was finalizing things, or yesterday. Getting Claude to actually read your Claude MD. So this is not specifically about testing, but it's more about using Claude Code, which I know is a pretty popular tool. So it comes from the Human Layer blog, which I really love the style of this blog. So maybe that's why I'm clicking it. But I thought it was interesting. This is a power user of code. I'm not sure if Dex is actually the guy that runs Human Layer, but the guy that runs Human Layer is the guy that invented the term context engineering, maybe, or he kind of like made it popular. Invented's a long word. But the concept here is when you're using Claude, when you're building it out, if you want things to be remembered, he's found it useful adding these conditional important if blocks, which is XML in your Claude. So it's not like if you miss something, it's not the end of the world, but like this is an XML pattern that's going to be read by Claude, added to the context. And the assertion here, the claim is using this important if to make sure that things are included under certain if conditions. He's gotten really good results using this type of pattern. So something worth checking. He also mentioned don't wrap everything and make things very, very specific. And the reason to do that is because as Claude is running, Claude explicitly tells the model the contents may or may not be relevant. So this is like using Claude Code. If you're using Claude Code, there's prompts that kind of go on under the harness saying, hey, this information that's coming to you, with the Claude MD, it may or may not be applicable. So what that means is your LLM is non-deterministically deciding this is important and this is not important, and it might decide wrong, and you really don't have control over it. Something like this can give you a little more determinism in your context windows.
There you go. Thank you.
There's a lot of talking, but it's very interesting, at least to me. So
I think I'm studying statistics. I'm taking statistics at the college. So if it's interesting to you, I bet there are more people like you out there. You just assemble.
I mean, it's like if you use Claude Code and you're thinking deeply about your context and how to manage it and how to train that to other people, which is what I do for a job. Like those are things I'm having to think about, and I want to make sure I communicate it clearly. And this is a great thing that I'll be stealing and using. So
stealing.
It's not stealing,
It is stealing. Your whole newsletter is stealing other people's work. put it together, and then we sit here and actually brag about those stealing. So if you like this stealing, don't forget to tune in next week for another stealing. This is gold. Thank you so much for joining us again. QA AI in QA.com. This is where you can find all of the newsletter, and also I think this is on YouTube. This video.
This will be on YouTube and our AI and QA channel. It's under the live section. It's not under the main videos. So it's out there. It's out on LinkedIn. Yeah, every morning, 7 a.m. Monday Central time.
Central.
This is when we are streaming. So
yeah,
would love for you to join us next time if you're watching this after the fact. And next time I might come with a little extra
demo.
Maybe it's not going to be a demo. I think it's going to be more of a way where people can ask us questions and we can actually see them.
Okay. Yeah, usually
We'll see. We'll see how it works. We'll check it out.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao. Bye.